Those who try their best never regret it. We live in a world that is obsessed with outcomes, winning, succeeding, getting the result. And somewhere along the way, we were taught to measure our efforts only by what they produce. We were told, it doesn't matter how hard you try, what matters is what you achieve. And I want to tell you today, that is one of the greatest lies ever sold to human beings. Think about it. A seed planted in shallow soil still had to fight. A bird that tries to fly and doesn't quite make it the first time, we don't call that bird a failure. We call it learning. We call it becoming. The world tries to tell you that effort without a trophy is worthless. But deep in your chest, in that quiet, honest place, you know the truth. A life where you held back is far more painful than a life where you failed trying. Regret for the things we did can be tempered by time, but regret for the things we never tried, that grows heavier every year.
Now I want to pause here, because when I say try your best, I don't mean perfection. I don't mean winning every time. I don't mean never being tired, never being afraid, never doubting yourself. Trying your best means showing up honestly, with whatever you have that day. Some days your best is extraordinary. You surprise yourself. You reach further than you thought possible. Other days, your best is simply getting out of bed when the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders. And here is what I need you to hear. Both of those count. Both of those are worthy of respect. Both of those are acts of courage. There is a man I read about, a marathon runner, who ran the last 6 miles of a race with a broken leg. He didn't win. He couldn't. But when he crossed that finish line, when people asked him why he kept going, he said, "Because I would have to live with the version of me who stopped, and I didn't want to be that person." He understood something most of us spend years trying to learn. You don't just run for the medal. You run for the person you become along the way.
Psychologists who study regret have discovered something fascinating. When people look back on their lives, especially near the end, the regrets that hurt them most are almost never the things they tried and failed at. They're the things they never tried at all. The business they didn't start, the person they never told, the dream they kept postponing until postponing became forever. Researchers call this the inaction effect. We suffer more from what we didn't do than from what we did. The pain of failure fades. The curiosity about what might have been, it lingers like a shadow. But here is the remarkable thing about full effort, your whole heart given honestly. It closes that shadow. It removes the question mark, because even when you don't get the outcome, you get the answer. You know you gave it everything, and that knowledge is a gift you give to your future self. Think of every person you have ever admired. Think of every story that has moved you, inspired you, made you want to be more. Were those stories about people who played it safe, who waited for the perfect moment, who only moved when success was guaranteed? No, they were stories about people who were afraid and moved anyway, people who were tired and kept going, people who had every reason to quit and chose not to. Effort is the raw material of every great story ever told. And right now, in your own life, you are writing your story every single day. Every choice you make about whether to try or to hold back is a sentence in that story. What kind of story do you want to tell? Not to an audience, not to impress anyone, but to yourself at the end, when it is quiet, and you look back at the life you built. What story do you want to have lived?
I know what the moment before the try feels like. That terrifying second when you haven't yet committed, when the outcome is still unknown, when failure is still possible, and so is everything else. That moment is where most people stop. They retreat into safety, into comfort, into the quiet settling of maybe someday. But I want you to understand something. That moment of terror, that is actually the moment of power. Because right there, in that second, you have a choice. You have agency. You have the ability to decide who you are. And the people who change things, the people who build something, who love fully, who create and contribute and push the world forward a little, they feel that fear too. They feel it in their stomach. They feel it in their hands. And they step forward anyway. Not because they are fearless, but because they have decided that trying matters more than the comfort of not knowing.
You will not always win. No one does. Life is not designed to give everyone the podium, the medal, the headline. But here is what I know, and I believe it with everything I have. The person who tries their best never has to wonder, never has to carry that hollow ache of the unlived attempt, never has to watch someone else do the thing they only dreamed of and think, I could have done that if only I had tried. That peace, that deep, earned peace is available to you. Not when you succeed, not when you win. Right now, today, the moment you decide to give everything you have. So I am not asking you to be fearless. I am not asking you to guarantee your success. I am asking you to make one promise to yourself, no one else. I will try. I will give it everything I have, and whatever happens, I will know I showed up fully. That promise is worth more than any outcome. That promise is who you choose to be. Those who try their best never regret it, not because they always win, but because they always know. Good luck.